Hi, this is Lady Lex UK and this is a Dreams tutorial. Today we're going to be doing some character sculpting. I've had quite a few requests. Just a quick disclaimer, in order to record I have to hardwire my controller, my DualShock controller, to the PC using a rather stiff USB cable. As a result, I haven't got the flexibility I would normally have. So sculpting is actually a little bit more difficult for me. So bear with me. I might have to recenter my imp on a regular basis because I just can't maneuver around properly with this great big hard wire stuck into the controller. So with that little disclaimer in, let's have a look at character modelling. Okay. We're going to start from scratch, and here is our mannequin. It's not starting from scratch per se. Luckily for you, you have a mannequin in order to put your designs on. Most of the things you're going to create will probably be bipedal characters with 2 legs, and so I recommend you don't delete any of this. Put your modelling onto here. I'm just going to go through the very basics of this. I'm not going to go into rigging or anything like that because that's like an advanced skill. So all we're going to do today is we're going to have a look at this model and put some clothes on him. Okie doke. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to scope into our mannequin. That's left 1 and X, and we get that purple stand. If you've gone too far, you'll end up in sculpt mode. We don't want to be there. We want to be here where the purple stand is. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into Tools and Stretch. Let's get rid of that menu. And when you select a part of your mannequin, because the mannequin is separated into these little sections, you can stretch them to change the dimensions and make your mannequin look different. So if you wanted longer arms, shorter legs, a bigger chest, large head, you can do that all in this mode. So I've got the stretch tool on. Now you'd think that if I stretched the hand, it would stretch the hand, and if I stretched this part of the arm, it would stretch this part of the arm. Except Media Monaco in their wisdom decided, no, we're not doing that. Each part of this mannequin is going to do slightly different things. So I better show you which bit does what. So we'll grab the hand, so with the right trigger, and as you can see, as I pull down, it's elongating both the arms on both sides. Now, the stretch tool, this is a live clone, and so it's going to affect both of these objects together in this mode. But I recommend you put Puppet Mirror on, because if I just show you, it will elongate them, but if you move this one over to the side, look, they're no longer together. So let me just put it back into its normal state. So I recommend you put Puppet Mirror on before you do any stretching, just in case, because you might end up with your arms in a weird position and they won't be symmetrical anymore, and we could do with keeping them symmetrical. So okay, the hands then, that affects both the upper and lower arms and stretches them both. The lower arm stretches the upper arm only, and the upper arm affects the chest area. So if you pull them apart like that, the chest gets bigger, and if you pull them up, the shoulders go up. Okay, that's what that does. If you grab the head, it stretches the neck. If you grab the neck, it stretches the tops of the shoulders. If you grab the chest, it changes the stomach area. If you grab the stomach, it's the top of the pants. If you grab the pants, it elongates or shortens the legs. Getting back to his normal state. if you grab the top of the thigh, this affects the bottom of the pant. Be very careful with this one. If you go too far or go up, it does weird stuff like this. And next thing you know, you've lost your mannequin and it's all over the place. And it doesn't matter how many times you go back to it, it's gone. It's here somewhere, but who knows where. So be very careful with that one. I recommend not doing that. Just leave the thighs alone. Don't do stretches on the thighs at all. Okay, let's go back in. The bottom of the legs, that will shorten the thigh. And the bottom of the foot will shorten both legs together. So it's the same situation as you had with the hand. And the top of the foot will elongate the feet. Now, if you want to shorten your player, let's say you're creating a child or something, I recommend you grab the pelvis and move down like this to shorten the legs. They keep in proportion, and that's better for creating shorter characters. If, however, you want these parts to be out of proportion and you really must do this sort of thing, you'll find that you've levitated your puppet above the purple stand. And if you go into play mode, your puppet now will refuse to walk. Won't use the walk animation because it's not standing on the stand anymore. If you end up in that position, just grab him by the pants and put his feet back down onto the platform. As soon as his feet are back down on the platform, he can now walk. So there we go. There we are. So we're back to our main mannequin now. So there we go. That's how to change the proportions. You can also put puppet mirror back on. You can also change the sizes. So I can grab this head and I can resize it, make it a really large head. I can grab the bottom of the arms and make those smaller like that, little pegs, or really large like that. And without puppet mirror on, I can change one side and not the other. So there we go. You can change the way the mannequin is in that way. Right then, let's do some sculpting. What we're going to do today is I'm going to put some clothes on our mannequin. There are two different ways that you can do this. You can apply sculpts directly to this mannequin here, or you can make it as a separate sculpture and attach it. Now it will depend really on whether you need the sculpt to have different textures, or you're going to need to layer so you can see things underneath each object that you're putting on your player, such as skin underneath clothing, or straps on top of material. So let's say you had a pair of dungarees on, so you've got the skin of the puppet, then you've got a shirt, and then you've got the dungarees over the top. You would do those in layers. You do those with separate sculptures. So I'm going to do a little bit of both today with this mannequin. So we sculpt him. I'm going to select the torso here. Actually, first thing I'm going to do, before I do any of that, I'm going to paint him. Now, a lot of people, they leave the painting till last. I find that especially if I'm got layers and things, it's a good idea to have a different colour for each layer, so I know which layer I'm cutting into. It makes life a lot easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the head, I'm going to paint that, and the neck, torso, arms, legs. Actually no, leave the legs alone. We'll put some jeans on him. We don't need to change that either, just the top and the arms. I think that will do. Okay, that will help me a lot. Okie dokie. Right, so I've selected the torso. And then I'm going to L1 and R2. And that's cloned my torso. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger than the torso itself, because obviously it's clothing. And that's a bit bigger than your skin. Like so. I'm going to remove it from the group. L1, 0, L1, 0. Make sure you're out. And I'm now going to take that opportunity to colour it. So I'm going to go in and colour it white. So scope in. Make it white. Then I'm going to grab it. And I'm going to L1 and X, L1 and X, L1 and X. Don't go any more. And I'm in that torso area. And then I'm going to lay it down into position. Like so. Then I'm going to L1 and square. And make sure it is not movable. That is very important. If you leave it as it was, it is just going to fall down. Which we don't want. Okay, so I've put the top of our t-shirt in. And let's colour the bottom of our t-shirt white as well. So here's the bottom. So there we go, he's got our t-shirt on. And I'm going to cut the neck out with a shape. So I'm going to use a cone. I'm going to choose white to cut it with. And I'm going to select my t-shirt. There we go, and I've cut a neckline out of the t-shirt there. He's got a sort of bigger open neck on that t-shirt. There we go. Right. Now I'm going to put the arms of my t-shirt in. I'll just open these arms up a bit. Okay, let's get some white going. And I think we'll make him a bit more muscly first of all. So we're going to get a sphere. Actually, I'm going to pick the skin tone. So if you want a particular colour, just click on colour picker, hover over the area that's got the colour that you want, press X, and then it's gone back to the colour. And that's the way to get back to the clay. Because the clay isn't a colour in here, which is a real annoyance. Very annoying. Never mind. Okay, so we want to go into stamp mode. So that's L1 and triangle. And we're just going to make this into like a muscle shape. Like that. And then we're going to make it blend. Like so. And then we're going to go into this arm. And I'm going to add muscle. To both the arms together. So there we go. That's added a bit of muscle to the arm. Like that. That's good. Now we're going to put in a sleeve. I think that's a bit thick. Let's just make that smaller. Okay, so we've got to center this sort of like that. There we go. And then we take our paintbrush. We need a straighter edge, don't we? There we go. And paint in our sleeve. You could spend some time getting this right. I'm just doing this really roughly. There we go, that'll do. So stick some sleeves on him. Okay, I'm not very happy with the way that goes under the arm. So let's just, with the white, and we want some blend. And we're going to go into there. Right, I just want to make that a little bit less bulbous. Oh yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, I think that's better. So when I put the arms down, yes, that looks a bit better. That's fine. Okay, so we put a t-shirt on him. Now we're going to stick some bottom on him, like that. We'll blend it a bit. Choose his bottom, and we'll stick mirror on. It's a bit far apart, isn't it? Okay, that's all good, I think. Yep, that'll be fine. Okay, let's stick some bell bottoms on his trousers. So I'm going to go in and pick a cone. I'm going to go into stamp mode. I'm going to elongate these a bit longer, like that. Let's turn mirror off. And there we go. Are we blending? We need to be blending. There we go. So I'm going to stick some flares on the bottom of his trousers. That's good. And then if we go into the tops there, I think we'll go with something like that with a blend. I think that would be okay. Maybe like that. Move up. There we go. There we go. That's quite good. There's his bell bottoms. Right. Now we're going to colour him in. Get some blue. Nice in the shape. Okay. Right, I can see I'm going to need to join these a bit better. So we go into there. I think some circles might help. Thing about sculpting, I'm going to do this quickly, and I'm doing this quickly. You would spend more time doing this than I am doing, and it will look a damn sight better. But I'm trying to do this quickly for you. Anyway, there we go. We've got some nice bell-bottom jeans on our character. I think the tops. This needs sorting. So let's just put. Bulge around there. That look a bit better. Like I say, you would spend more time trying to get this to look the way you wanted it to look. But there we go. I've got a pair of jeans on him. Right. Now then, once you've got your character how you like him, then and you wanted to paint something. Let's say I wanted to paint a tattoo onto this arm. Because these are live clones of each other, I'm not going to be able to do that. So if you need to do any more sculpting, do it now, because what I'm going to show you now is going to stop these from being duplicates of each other. So I'm going to put a bit of muscle on him. We're going to smear, we're going to put that blend on. Okay, so we've given him some muscly arms. Maybe a little bit too muscly, but hey, it's a cartoon. What does it matter? Okay, like that. There we are. That's better. Okay, I want to make him a sort of sailor, so I want to give him a tattoo, but I only want it on that arm. Now, if I was to just go into paint mode now, let's get a black. And if I was to select this arm, I've only selected this arm, you notice. And I go in, I'm going to surface snap, so it's going to paint on the surface, and then I can draw my bad tattoo. You'll notice it's drawn it on the other arm as well, even though I've only selected this arm, which is even the arm you would normally use to effect change. So that's no good. We don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going into here. We're going to into live clone mode. Hover over there, and you'll notice it says stop live clone. As soon as I do this, these two objects these sides will no longer be clones of each other. So I'm going to press triangle. So it's no longer a live clone of this one. So now I'm going to go into paintbrush mode. I am surface snapped. I'm going to select this arm. I'm going to zoom in. And then I'm going to draw his very bad anchor tattoo. But you'll notice it is only on this arm now. There we go. Because I have, it's come away as no longer being a live clone. Right, so we've got our sailor here. He needs black shoes. So I'm going to stick some, I can't leave them like that. I'm going to have to give him some black shoes. Do that. There we go. Black shoes. That's that. He could do with some sort of a hat. I could make one, or I could look in the Dreamiverse for a hat. There's a nice tricorn hat, so I'll just stamp that down. Okay, I need to put this so we can select the head, so we're right to the head. There we go. And now we should. There we go. It's badly positioned, but yes, it's attached to his head. Scope in, scope in, scope in till you get to the hat. There we go. Move the hat. There we are. There we go. So that's how to make a character model, simply. Hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I will be doing another one on sculpting objects, but to be honest, most of the techniques that are used for this are going to apply to making your own props and things. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in your dreams.